you hear, not this past Iowa debate, I don't know where the debate prior to that was for the Republicans, when discussing Iran policy and how they would handle that, did you hear Newt Gingrich's plan for Iran? Right out in the open, he admits that his plan for Iran, I don't know, taking them out without having to go to war would be to covertly go in there and disrupt things, all in secret, all to where they could be no blame put on the administration.
Could you tell us the smart ways, Mr. Speaker?
First of all, maximum covert operations to block and disrupt the Iranian program, including taking out their scientists, including breaking up their systems, all of it covertly, all of it deniable. Second, maximum coordination with the Israelis.
And I don't know, it's just kind of funny to admit.
Sounds kind of familiar, yeah?
Sounds very CFR, Trilateral Commission.
What they've been doing for years and years and years.
Sounds like a plan straight from the Bilderberg meeting, but we don't make any policy decisions, we just talk.
Right.
Yeah, and really he did. He said that, and the entire audience laughed, and he glossed right over it, and everybody went on. But you know, just a very funny, striking.
Outwardly, just talking about their plans, what actually to do, and what they have been doing.
But listen, I'm conflicted by this. I will tell you, because JFK, the Bay of Pigs, JFK told the CIA that's what he wanted. Listen, if you're going to do the Bay of Pigs, I don't want any trace to come back to us. I want this to be done covert. No one knows anything about it. And I consider JFK to be our last real president, a real honest man. So if he was sending people, you know, our CIA to Cuba to do covert operations that couldn't be traced back to the U.S. administration,
I think this has been happening for a while. It's become kind of a precedent, unfortunately, for America. So doing stuff like that is not really a taboo. It's more looked at as like a valid action, you know?
The key, yeah, maybe the key is maybe that's not so evil in and of itself. It's just the people behind it. And you know, let me have a JFK doing covert actions more than a Newt Gingrich because...
Right. You know, the Panama Canal, there's the same mentality behind that. They went over and created all this disruption in Panama.
Suez?
Panama also.
Panama,
yeah. Yeah, they created the disruption.
Go on record?
Yeah, I will. I remember that from my actually my 4th or 5th history class I've taken and dropped.
How'd those work out for you?
Dropped them. I knew more than the teacher, of course, so they couldn't teach me anything. So apparently the Arab League has threatened to send in monitors to Syria to monitor all this stuff happening, saying that they could be military, they could strike against Syria, they could defend the people. Turkey has said that they may enforce a no-fly zone over in the area.
Speaking of Turkey, happy Thanksgiving!
Gobble, gobble, gobble!
Gobble, gobble, everybody. Gobble up that subscription button. Subscribe live on the air.
Syrian authorities have barred most independent journalists from entering the country during the revolt, making it difficult to verify accounts.
We have to take Syria. We're going to take Syria out first before Iran. Do you think so?
I think so. I think the Arab League's going to take Syria out for us. They're going to, NATO took out Libya.
I've gone on record saying that.
Satan?
I've gone on record with Satan proclaiming that Iran would be struck by Israel any time now. I mean, check your watches if it hasn't already happened. We're probably minutes away. But I do also now think that Syria is going to get done first. We're going to go ahead and take care of them.
Yeah.
They won't shut their little traps.
They're being so uppity over there.
They're a little bit easier to handle than Iran.
Yeah.
We're going to knock them off the face of the earth. Then, after we hand that over to the Muslim Brotherhood, we're going to go on to Iran.
Yeah.
And by we, I mean Israel.
So Israel, has reacted to these...
and by Israel, I mean I don't support any of this.
Israel has said that they would support strong sanctions in Iran.
Some kind of strong guys or something?
They would support strong sanctions in Iran, and they wouldn't attack them if they were to enforce these strong sanctions. Russia has came out and agreed with the West on these new ultimatums, these new sanctions. So that's good. But also, I heard today that Iran's being investigated for money laundering, so that may be another angle of trying to get the Iranians on.
It'll never stop.
Israel officials have suggested that they could accept crippling Iran through sanctions as an alternative to force.
Crippling Iran. Listen, how many sanctions do we have in Iran? And they're still growing. I think they have like a 3% growth and their economy every year. Meanwhile, America's straight down the tube.
Yeah.
We have no sanctions on us. Come on, people, wake up.
Yeah.